We're going to talk about box and whisker plots today, and you guys should know how to make box and whisker plots. It's the very last set of notes. So you should know how to make box and whisker plots, but if you don't, we're going to go over it. I'm going to leave the stuff at the top empty, and we're just going to go straight to the box and whisker plot. So this is what it looks like. It's called a box and whisker plot because it has the box in the middle, and then it has these two lines on the outside, which are like whiskers. Okay. So the very last number there, or the very first one, is your minimum. The highest number is your maximum. You have Q1 and Q3, or your lower quartile and your upper quartile. And then you have your median. So then just some fill in the blanks down here. The left whisker, that's this one, extends from the minimum to the first quartile. It represents about 25% of the data. So each little section holds 25% of the data, making up 100%. The box extends from the first quartile to the third quartile. So this rectangle in here goes from the first to the third quartile and has a vertical line through the median. The length of the box represents the inner quartile range, inner quartile range. That's also called the IQR, inner quartile range. It contains about 50% of the data, so the box contains 50%. The right whisker extends from the third quartile to the maximum, and it represents about 25% of the data as well. Okay. So if we look at this one more time, this part holds 25% of data. This part of the box holds 25%, this part of the box, and then this whisker holds 25% of the data. The box holds a full 50%. All right, so just some questions, and you guys can look back up here for reference. Look at this box and whisker plot. What is the median? Come on. Where's the median on this one? Guys, come on, please. Why is it at 20? It's the vertical line in the middle of the box, okay? So 20. The lower quartile, so again, remember, I'm gonna just go ahead and write it out for you, just to remind you. Q1 is right here, that's your lower quartile. You have your median. You have your Q3, or they call it the upper quartile. And you have your max. So what is the lower quartile of the set of data? So remember, lower quartile is Q1. Where is Q1 on the number line? Is it just 16? Looks like 16.5. Perfect. Somebody else, the upper quartile. Thank you. What percentage of data is between the lower quartile, so right here, lower quartile, and the upper quartile? Remember we said each section was 25%. So this is 25%, and this other section is 25%. So how much total is in that? 50%. That's it. Gonna do it again. Here's your min. your Q1 or your lower quartile, your median, your Q3 or your upper quartile, and your max. What is the median? 35. What percentage of the data is below the median? So from here to here. How many sections are there? 2. Each section is 25%. So how much is that? Perfect. The 5 values that make up the box and whisker plot are, your first one is your minimum. What is your minimum? Yeah, 25. Your Q1, where is it at? Your median, we already said was at 35. Your Q3, 45. And your max looks to be at 50. All right, so what this is called, part C, is called the 5-number summary. 5-number summary. You can do that on your calculator. You guys can do that just looking at the data, so it's really simple. I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, but I'm also going to show you how to do it on the calculator. So like when you get to your homework, if you need the calculator, you can use it. All right, so we're going to start with a set of data and we're going to find all of these. So the first thing that you want to do is put it in numerical order, so least to greatest. So look at this data. What's your littlest number in this data? 2. It's okay. What's your next one? 3. Make sure if there's any repeats, you use them. There's not on either one of these. What comes next? 4. What comes next? How many 6s? 2 6s. What comes next? How many 7s? Count again. 4 7s. What comes next? 8. And then keep going. 11 and 12. So from this, we can pull out our minimum and our maximum. What's our minimum value in this list? What's your maximum? 12. All right. I'm not really worried about the mean and the mode and range. We've already done that, but I want to worry about the 5-number summary. We are going to fill them in, but I want to worry about that first. So this is how you find it. The median is the middle. Okay, it's the middle. So we have 1 here and 1 here. 1 here and 1 here. 1 here and 1 here. 1 1. 1 1. 1 1. So what's in the middle? 7 is the median. Then you split it. Since 7 is in the middle, we're going to split the lower half and the upper half. And you're going to find the middle again. So we have 2 and 7, 3 and 6, but then we have 4 and 6. Remember, when we have an even number, we just add them together. 6 plus 4 is 10. And then divide by 2, which gives us what? 5. So your Q1 is 5. Do the same thing on the other side. We mark out 7 and 12, 7 and 11, and we have 8 and 9 left. So we add those together and divide by 2. 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. That's your Q3. How do you find a mean? You guys will have to do that for your final exam. How do you find a mean? What's another word for mean? Remember we did mean, median, and mode already. Y'all remember that? How do you find the mean? Zoomers, I'm waiting on you too. How do you find the mean? Did I teach you anything? Am I failing as a teacher? This is what you're telling me? How do you do it?
Number that's used the most.
Now that's the mode. That's the mode. So they said the number that was used the most. Which number in here is used the most? That's the mode. So that one's easy. The mean, you can either do your calculator. You can put it into stat, edit, and put it in there and do your 1-bar stats, which I'll show you in just a few minutes. Okay. Or you just add them all up and divide by the number there is. So just the same way you would get your grades in class. So if we did that, it's really bright. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 6s plus 4 7s plus an 8 plus a 9 plus 11 plus 12. You might have to do this during non-calculator active, okay? So I just want you to know they won't have as many, but you might have to find the average. So we get 89, but then how many points were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we divide by 13 and we get 6.8. And then remember your range. We did mean, median, mode. I don't know that we did range, but range is from a long while back, different classes. Your range is your highest minus your lowest. So what's 12 minus 2? 10. That's all we need. All right, so ones we need are not these. We don't need the mean, the mode, or the range. We need these 5 numbers to make a box plot. We go from 2 to 12, so I can put that on my number line. I'm gonna go ahead and put a 13. You don't have to. You plot those 5 numbers. So we have 2, so we just draw a dot floating above the axis, floating above the number line. We have 5. We have 7. We have 8.5. And we have 12. The middle 3 become your box, and we just draw a vertical line through the middle. And then the outsides become your whiskers. That's it. And again, I'm going to show you how to do this in your calculator one more time. I'll show you how to make a box plot in your calculator. It's really simple, okay? Everybody good? All right. We're going to use the box and whisker plot to answer some questions. These are more of what you're going to get on the final exam. Not necessarily making them, but using them to answer questions. They're not hard, okay? Use the box and whisker plots below. What do the interquartile ranges? Remember, interquartile ranges is Q3 to Q1. So the box, the length of the actual box, tell you about, that should say, the average monthly rainfall for each city. So what does it tell you about the average monthly rainfall for Miami, Florida? The minimum is like right around 2, but what about this one? Tell me what you want to do is compare them. Compare Miami to New Orleans. What can you say just about the 2 boxes? Okay, what does that mean? What are we talking about? Read this. Yeah. New Orleans. has fewer than or less than Miami. So that means Miami is rainier than New Orleans. Does everybody understand that? So any of those would help. This is probably going to be a multiple choice question and they're going to have the answers for you. And that's what you're looking for. That's literally, that's it. That's all they're looking for. Miss Russell drew a box and whisker plot to display data about the number of hours her piano students practiced last month. What whole number best represents the median number of hours? So we're looking for the median. Which one is in the median? It's in the middle. And then what is the number, the whole number? Look at your number line and tell me where the median's at. 35, that's it. Y'all, it's that simple. Don't get too crazy about it, okay? So then here's a multiple choice one. Colin caught 15 fish in each of the 2 ponds on his ranch. The box and whisker plots summarize the length and inches of fish from each pond. So the length of the fish from Willow Pond have what? So we're looking at Willow Pond right here. Do they have a greater range than Taylor Pond? How do you find your range? What's your formula for range? Say it again. The max minus the min, the biggest minus the littlest. So let's check out Taylor Pond. What's your maximum for Taylor Pond? Maximum for Taylor? 20. What's your minimum? It's okay. Which gives us 15, right? What about for Willow? What's your maximum? We got it one more time. 18. What's your minimum? It's okay. 5. You're okay. You're okay. So 18 because it lines up with the max. 5 there, which gives us 13. It says Willow, you got to tell me if this is truth or not. Willow Pond has a greater range than Taylor Pond. Does Willow have a greater than Taylor? So we can't use that one. Are their medians both equal to 12 inches? No, why? This one's at 12, right? But Willow is at 11, so it can't be that one. Mean equal to 20 inches. We don't really know anything about the mean, do we? All right, so let's check out the next one. Lower quartile equal to the lower quartile of Taylor Pond. Are there 2 quartiles? The lower quartile is the same. So this one and this one. Are they the same? Look at it one more time. Yes, they're both at what? 9. They're both at 9. We can't do the mean from a box and whisker plot. Everybody good? All right. Number 4, each box and whisker plot shows the prices in thousands of dollars of used cars advertised for sale at 3 car dealerships. If you want to go to the dealer whose prices seem least expensive, which dealer would you go to? How would you figure out which one's least expensive? Where would it be on that number line? Where are your least values on the number line? Left or right? On the left. Which one is mostly to the left? Better than new. Very good. It says write a sentence using summary statistic words like mean, median, mode, quartile, etc. to explain the car dealership that you would choose. So you chose better than new. So tell me about better than new. Tell me about its minimum compared to the other 2. Look at it. The minimum's here. These minimums are here and here. So what do you know about this minimum? Yeah, it's lower. It's not a hard thing. This is not me trying to trick you. Okay. So the minimum is lower. And we're going to say them both are others. What about Q1? That's your first line. Right there's Q1, Q1, and Q1. And again, we picked better than new. Tell me about it compared to the other two. Is it bigger, lower, same? It's lower. So it's exactly the same. What about our medians? This is the one where it's going to be a little different. So remember, this line is the median. And this one's right on top of that arrow as well. So compare better than new to both of the other ones. What can you tell me? Is it lower than one, higher than one? So this median right here, is it lower than one? Remember, to the left means lower. Is it to the left of one of the other medians? Which one? Cars R Us. Is lower than Cars R Us. What about the other one though? But higher. Is it yours now? I've already wrote all over it. All right. What about Q3? It's kind of the same, right? It's lower than Cars R Us, but higher. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to just drop that up there. Q3 and the median. What about the max value? Is it higher? Is it lower? Is it higher than one, lower than the other? Is what? Lower than the others. Perfect. So that's all I wanted to do was for you to compare it. And what they'll do is they'll give you those multiple choice questions or whatever, those sentences. All right, so that's all the notes. What I want to do now is I want you to look at what you have to do today. It's real easy and it's not bad at all. Okay? So I'm going to stop sharing this one. Give me a minute to get in here. You have a link that you're going to follow. I'm going to go back so you guys can see it. Sorry. Let me jump back in here and share my screen. I'm going to